The Truth Girls.
Hey everyone, I'm convinced the American election is rigged. My husband told me from the beginning, Hillary Clinton's gonna win because that's what the Bilderbergs want. And I said, well, let's see what happens. But so many ways that you can skew an election, like A, with the coverage, B, with screwing with who can vote, screwing with the ballots, rigging the machines. It just makes you wonder, why even have an election? Even Donald Trump now says that the election's rigged. He says Hillary Clinton's the devil too, from what I heard. Although it's weird because a few years ago he was saying how, he really liked the Clintons and he's friends with them and he was very supportive. And now things have changed, but then again, a lot of allegations have come out against her. I mean, she should probably be in jail. And there have been people all along saying, like, they wonder if Donald Trump is really just a plant in the Republican Party to make people end up voting for Hillary. I mean, who knows? You can speculate. And there was Bernie Sanders, who then came out and said, oh, you have to vote for Hillary Clinton. And people said, oh, he turned against his own supporters. Maybe he was really forced into it, though. I mean, this kind of people up at that level, they play hardball. What you have in America is a corporate oligarchy. Like, you have a corporatocracy run by a few elites. That's it. So, right side, left side. It's not going to be that different. I know some of you have high hopes for Trump, but I mean, what is it that you really want? A better economy? Better for who? Better for the rich? Better as in making more money, but who's the money going to go to? That's what I always wondered. It's like people want change, but they're choosing from all the time the same options. It's always like this. So you're not going to have anything a really big change. It's just you get more of the same. And that's probably what you're going to get, because whoever ends up in the administration, it's all basically just recycling the same people. So I'm not sure what kind of change you expect you're going to have. What kind of change do you actually want? Why don't you tell me? What would you really like to see happen? Personally, what I see happening is a bigger gap between the rich and the poor in America. That's what I find very concerning. And that's a big problem that I think needs to be addressed. Don't call me a communist for saying that. I mean, America tends to lean so far right because they're so afraid of anything that says let's equal the gaps. Let's have better education in the poor neighborhoods. I'll tell you why I'm bringing that up, because I know someone who's a teacher in New York, and he said in the schools where people come from, the private schools where they have money, this is at the college level, they have a good education coming in, and when they come into, like, when they're coming in from the poor schools, they go into these they get these associate degrees, and it's basically like the skills they come out with at the end of that is what they should have had in high school, at the end of high school. So there's a big difference between the education the rich and the poor get. And that means there's a big difference in the opportunities they're going to have. There's going to be a big gap in the classes if there's a big disparity in what kind of education they have access to. I think that kind of thing is important. And I think Americans are so afraid of equalizing where there is this kind of imbalance in places like education. They're so afraid that that's going to make them communists. They're so afraid to go there because they call that left, that they go more and more right. Because a corporatocracy is fascism. It's way far on the right. So you're right to be afraid of your government and of having a police state, because that's what you get when you go so far to the right. You have big government because your big government is run by big corporations. You have monopolies. You have a big gap between the rich and the poor. And as far as I'm concerned, that's where the change needs to happen. Something there needs to get in check. That's what I think. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.